Shortly before we start, smile. Literally force a smile on your face. That is the exactly theme of this video today. Aren't you realizing that in the last about half a year, it's starting to become a trend to be boring, to be like when you come to your school, you see people specifically, especially men, around women. Like when you're talking with your friends, they're all there laughing, you're sharing laughs, everything. And when some cute girl passes them, they're just, and you even know it for yourself before, or even I still do it sometimes. When you're not breathing deeply, when you're not there focused, when you're not there conscious, you just forget, and you're just like, you're just there. You're cool, you're big, alpha male, you're strong, you're masculine, you're stoic around the woman. Women do not like that. Again, smile. Force a smile on your face. That is becoming a trend, and that's a recent trend. Maybe you can even remember it. Like about a year ago, it was not like that. It just started recently, about 3 to 4 months ago. Everybody is just like, it's not. You're not cool. You're not cool being serious. You're not masculine. You're not being feared if you're just constantly, always, 24/7. You're more like a boring retard. Why? Because if you're actually, I'm not saying you should be blue pill. I'm not saying you should be bullshitting. You should be weak. But if you're actually strong, if you're actually masculine, first, of course, you will know you need to be happy and kind. Sometimes you're not always like that alpha male mode. That's the first thing. The second thing is besides you need to have emotions. If you are strong enough, if you are big, if you are strong, if you can fight, if you can run, if you can hurt and kill somebody, you don't need to be serious 24/7 to make people know it. When they look at you, they see through you. Do you jack off and still watch porn, or are you actually dangerous to other people? You're not actually, and think about it for yourself. No matter if you're a male or female, would you like you have two identical twins for your girlfriend, for example, because most of people are male watching this channel. But even if you're a woman watching this, imagine imagine your partner, your two identical girls, for example, if you're a man. One, they're exactly the same as tits, character, soul, cooking skills, everything, but just the one smiles more. The first one is always like, is there, like people are on the drugs, on MDMA, on cocaine, on I don't know what, like just constantly like fucking walking zombies. And the second identical girl, the only difference is she's always happy. Always, when you see her, your smile, your happiness automatically turns on. That's the only difference. Which one you choose instantly is the second one. There is not enough happiness and positivity on every day-to-day world. You need to bring it. If you want to receive it more from other people, you also need to be the giver to other people. You need to spike. You need to start it, to share it to other people, and the other people, the energy you spread out will return to you. The frequency, the energy, the happiness, however you want to call it, it will return to you when you are actually a happy guy, nice guy to actually be around. People enjoy spending time with you. They will start liking you more, and they will start wanting to hang out with you more. And also for the girls, you can reverse this role, as I just said. Girl watching you, two identical guys, but one is just happy constantly. Which one is more attractive to a woman? What do you think? It's not, they have the same muscle, the same money, the same mindset, future ambition, everything, but they are just, one is 1,000 times, the one is like always. And the second guy is smiling. When you approach a girl, when you're speaking to your classmate, when you're speaking to waiter, when you're speaking to the cleaning staff in your school, you're just like there, brainlessly asking them questions. Like, how was your day? How did you sleep? How do you feel? And you're there sharing your happy energy. People will want purposely to be to hang out with you more just because you're smiling, you're sharing happiness with other people. And this is a tip from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. You can read it for yourself, or I'll import the screenshot right here. Force a smile. When you're not smiling, you're 1,000 times more attractive when you're smiling. Like, imagine you're watching a thumbnail for this video. The first picture is me, and the fucking title is "You need to smile more," or "How people are depressed," and I'm there in the thumbnail. Or imagine the exactly same thumbnail, the exactly same this video, but I'm just even forcefully forcing your smile. As the book said, How to Win Friends and Influence People, just force a smile. Force your cheek, no matter how depressed you are, literally force these muscles in your face, force your cheeks to make a smile. And hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds, and I can guarantee you the auto smile will turn on. You will not need to force it anymore. Like, just try it for an exercise. You can even pause this video and just forcefully, yes, it maybe looks retarded, but just activate these muscles to hold the smile through watching this video, or you can pause it and just smile there while existing. Like, hold it for 20, 30, 60 seconds, and it will start turning into automatic smile. You don't need, like, it literally happened to me right now. You can see it. I'm not forcing it anymore. Like 10 seconds ago, you start sharing happiness outside with the world. So let's talk now. Why is this happening? Mainly, it's phone, it's social media, it's screens, computers, everything. Why this exactly happens? Because we are getting too much dopamine from our phones, from our screens, so that the world around us just feels meh. It just feels boring. Because, like, imagine, you know what dopamine is. Dopamine is basically like a substance, a hormone in our body, just like testosterone, just like fucking estrogen and melatonin, all of these fucking 1,000 hormones we have inside of your body. Dopamine is your motivation, happiness, and drive hormone, like 3 in 1. Dopamine is responsible for your motivation, for your will to continue living and to do something, to chase something, to chase a physique, to chase some goals, to chase something you want, and for your happiness, for motivation. Like, imagine things which give you dopamine in every day-to-day life. Our dopamine receptors are fried. The dopamine, the paths in our brain which produce, they are constantly fried because of our phones, as I said. Because when you're watching porn, when you are playing video games, when you're scrolling on TikTok, short form content, it's fucking gazillion times easier to get our dopamine from phones than to actually, like, imagine 1,000 years ago, before even fucking electricity existed, how would you get dopamine? You need to conquer something, and the dopamine's use actually was logically and rightfully used. To get dopamine, you need to do something hard. You need to go on a run. You need to train hard. You need to approach the gym. You need to approach the girl. Something to win her address, to win her phone number, to meet her, to find girlfriend. You need to fucking climb the mountain. Like, imagine you climb the mountain and you're finally seeing the view. Imagine how much just happiness strikes in the fucking billions of you're actually getting the real dopamine. And now you can get everything within a split second. You don't need to fucking go and climb Mount Everest. You don't need to go ahead and do the scary part, to approach girls or strangers in the street, and to talk to strangers. You don't need to do that. It's hard. What you can do, you can just sit in your chair, even right now when you're watching me. I don't know you. We didn't meet in real life, so I can talk with you, and we can share a nice conversation. You're there watching me over your screen. You're there in your room. Maybe before what were you doing before this? You were listening maybe to music, which also gives you dopamine. You're maybe scrolling some short form videos on TikTok, on Instagram. You were maybe scrolling YouTube, and this my videos gets on your suggested page, and you click on it. you have dopamine from your house and it's too easy. So why the fuck would you go and climb Mount Everest? Go and climb, do some workout, do some actual dopamine things. Go on a walk, go on a coffee and have a chat with your friends. Why do you need to do the hard things which require some action? You can just go ahead and get your dopamine from your home. That's the reason why we are turning into this culture, like to call it like that, to call it like that. That's why we are turning into that boring face culture. We are turning boring because we get too much dopamine from our phone. And like if you can imagine the graphs and you compare it, how much dopamine you get from your phone and how much dopamine you get from real life, which you're supposed to get. You're supposed to get less dopamine in real life because the harder things give you more dopamine. Of course, when you go on a walk, peaceful walk through the nature, you get a little bit dopamine. Yes, it's relaxing and everything, but you get a little bit dopamine. Purposefully, God made like this to get a little bit dopamine because how it of course it wouldn't make sense to get this exact the same amount of joyfulness of happiness if you go on a walk and if you climb Mount Everest. It doesn't need to be specifically climbing a mountain, but like I'm using two different. I'm polarizing the example. I'm using two different examples. Like it doesn't need to be climbing the mountain. It can be fixing your car. It can be talking to a stranger. It can be making love with your wife. It can be finding a wife, finding a girlfriend. It can be hugging your parents. It can be doing a hard workout. You get what I mean. The more effort you put in, the more dopamine you get, or you're supposed to get, but just our dopamine receptors are fried. So what's the logical answer to this? Dopamine detox. To reduce, of course, there are two. If our dopamine is high and our worldly, if our worldly satisfaction is low, when you look at my two hands, what's the logical answer to this? Is to flip it, to reduce our screen time, to reduce our dopamine from the digital world, and to increase our real world, real life dopamine. Go on a walk, go on a run, talk with your parents, talk with friends, make new friends, start learning new skills, start playing pool, start playing table tennis, start learning how to talk to strangers, start going to the gym, start maybe boxing, start jiu-jitsu, learn some new skills, read, actually to go ahead and socialize, to talk with other people, to make other people happier, so they will also get, so you will also get happier they will also make you happier, to say it like that. We need to reduce our screen times, but that's not enough. If you just reduce your screen time, of course it helps, but if you reduce your screen time from 4 hours to 3 hours, these 3 hours you spend, you're going to scroll actually more, because in these 4 hours maybe you're switching video every 20 minutes. Now when you come home and to unwind, to relax from the hard day you had, you're going to scroll more. You're searching for more dopamine, because we need dopamine to survive. Because if our dopamine just suddenly drop to zero and we get into like some mega depression, what will happen? Your life doesn't make any sense, and you want to kill yourself. So that's why we need dopamine actually to survive, to keep going, to keep living, to keep our brain, so it can keep us alive. That's why we need dopamine. So short answer, to reduce our screen times and also to reduce what we do on our phone. The ideal scenario would be to delete TikTok, to delete Instagram, to delete video games, to delete anything which actually gives you bad dopamine, to stop visiting Pornhub, etc. on our phone, and actually maybe to use it to read your PDFs you have on your phones, or maybe to message friends. But it also can be tricky if you're messaging girls, also for the dopamine, or when you're messaging somebody on the Instagram, so while you're waiting 2 minutes for them to reply, you accidentally just mindlessly close the messages and you start scrolling. That's the first thing. And the second part is, as I said, to improve in real life. So thank you for watching this video till then. Hopefully you can have some lesson, at least if you can learn just one thing from this video, so you didn't wasted your 15 minutes right now. Forcefully smile. Just make your cheeks, just use these muscles to push your lips into a smiling position. Just force a smile and hold that position for about 30 seconds to a minute. And the more you do this, the less time it will take. And just force your smile, and after some time it will stop being forced. You can try it out for yourself, and it will just turn in your normal smile. And the second thing, which I forgot, you're a fucking man. Clip your fingers, fucking blink, and turn on your happiness. You can control your emotions as a man. So just forcefully smile and just click your fingers and make yourself happy out of nowhere to fix your position immediately. Right now, make yourself happier. Start putting manually more and more happy thoughts in your brain. Thank you, brother, for watching this video till the end. Can come back to the channel for more knowledge if you want to see more similar videos from me shortly. No pressure. If you're interested, you can have and go ahead and check out my 2 paid products if you want to help me to this channel. You can go ahead and check my 2 paid products, link in the description. Thank you, brother, for watching this video till the end, and see you in the next video. Goodbye, brother.